Welcome back. It's the first edition of Business Morning for the week on Channels Television. Thank you so much for staying with us. Of course, you know you can be part of the program. Just tweet at us at Biz Morning, at Channels TV, at Harriet Agbin, or at Bolson Business. You can also send us an email to businessmorning@channelstv.com. Just to let you know, latest data from London-based research analyst firm World Economics says headline Sales Manager Index for Nigeria rose from 65.2 points in July to 66.3. Now, a look at the 5 components of the SMI shows Business Confidence Index, which measures how sales managers expect the economy to perform over the next few months, registered or rose to 93.4 points. In August, market growth was also up to 65.3. It's the highest reading since December, pointing to faster market expansions across most industry sectors, including manufacturing and agriculture. And the product sales index also rose for the 5th month in a row to 57.7 from 56.1, while the prices charged index rose to 59.2, and staffing index, which reflects the number of staff taken on compared to the same period last year, rose to 55.7 as the fastest pace since last March. And so what is also picking up pace this morning, Bosun Mofai, Business News Editor, joins me. Welcome back from the weekend, Bosun. You're looking all fresh and spoofed up.
I hope so. You'll see the outside. I hope I'm that inside.
Okay, so what else is picking up pace? We're talking about the energy market now.
Yes, we look like the oil and gas sector, the index picked up late last week. But of course, as you said, the latest number from the World Economics in London shows there's a lot of a very high level of optimism about future economic activity in Nigeria, and perhaps that's taking that forward from what the president's been doing, those rattlings, as I call it. I'll keep that on the chest. I'll pin that on the chest of the president. He's rattling everywhere, and that looks like there's confidence that, yes, economic activity will pick up in Africa's largest economy, despite some problems with our reserves, with crude oil prices and revenue and things like that. So looks like there's a strong level of optimism coming up. So that's what everybody's talking about, and that's what that data has since revealed. Harriet.
Very true, Bosun. So let's start first of all with the oil and gas stocks. What did they finish off
if you look at that last week, very surprising upside. Not so surprising. Forty Oil has actually been the poster boy for that sector. Used to be Oando Energy. Now it's Forty Oil that all eyes are focusing on as far as this sector is concerned. So come with me. Let's look at this very quickly. You see Forty Oil here. And Total were the 2 main drivers for this stock when last week was finished back at 220, heading back to 230 Naira per share, up by almost 5% on Friday. That's the volume you see there, 204,580. Mobil Oil was flat on Friday. MRS remained unchanged at 49.66. Oando went down sharply, 2.31%. That's the largest indigenous energy trader with footprints in upstream and downstream segment of our market, including gas across West Africa and LPG for domestic consumption as well, so domestic cooking. So that's Oando there. 5.9 million. Oando will always drive market volume. In that sector, 5.962 million, the market closed on Friday. Total PLC, the oil retailer, the oil major 155, crossing back to that level by 1.84%. If you add Oando and Forty Oil, a price gain together, that gives you almost 7%. If you aggregate the rest of that basket, you get 1.5% uptick, which we'll show you later on. You find Seplat there, flat at 245.30. That's the energy, was the exploration and producing company. I think there's a little bit of a problem with Seplat there. I got 245.30 here for 10,700. Bit of a typo there for the Seplat closing price. There is 245.30. Now bringing back down the rear of that list is the corn oil as usual. Surprising as well for corn oil, 108,000 units of that stocks at 33.28. So if we put that together, let's get a quick snapshot of that sector for you as usual. It's just a one-pager showing you in summary how the sector performed. 1.5% to the upside. Year to date, still significantly down, 15.8% because of those aggressive downsides that's been in that sector for a couple of weeks. That's tracking the broader market around 14%. Price to earnings ratio for the oil and gas segment put together 7.8 times against 8.9 for the market. Not significantly different as you can see there in the third column. Now you go to the dividend yield column, 2.8. And of course you got the story this morning that Forty Oil has cut off relationship with 4 oil retailers, filling stations, because they were part of those being sealed up by the Department of Petroleum Resources. That's the part of the NNPC responsible for sanitizing and regulating pump stations across Nigeria and what have you. Now, I'll move on to where we are now. We're talking electricity a little bit, and Harriet will be joining this conversation. As you can see there, Nigerian government, that's the story this morning. Oh, let's start from the top. The PHCN now issued a notice. PHCN in liquidation. That's the power holding company of Nigeria, issues notice of nationwide meetings with liquidator along with the BP, that's the Bureau of Public Enterprises, and the staff of the Nigeria Electricity NEMCO, that's what it's called. That meeting would take place about 5 locations across Nigeria. That notice is in the dailies this morning. But the creditors of successor generating companies called GENCOs and the distribution companies called DISCOs and the transmission company of Nigeria are not invited to this. It's part of winding up a PHCN, the successor of NEPA in Nigeria, getting to the end of that era and getting the Nigeria's electricity transition market up and running. Now, very important story, and I'm sure everybody will clap for this. Well, Nigerian government, after 3 years of delay, have now provided the risk guarantee that the World Bank and other bankers would need to get the Azura-Edo IPP Independent Power Projects online. That $900 million electricity project is located somewhere outside Benin City, Midwest, celebrates to the southern part. If you get out of Lagos, you get to Benin City, then this project is a little bit out of that. That's where this gas turbine power project will be based, 450 megawatts. Quite massive, one of the first of its kind in Nigeria's history. Now the Buhari's administration have provided the guarantee that there's 20 international banks have been waiting for, because you need to provide money for this kind of project. You need the federal government to provide a guarantee, and that is what President Buhari and the rest of his team has provided for the Azura-Edo IPP project. This is almost 50 billion naira project, if you ask me. And that's the story this morning. Harriet, take it from here.
Well, I definitely will take it from here because it is good news for the economy. I mean, we're talking about this massive power, generating facility coming up, and everybody's trying to key into it. The federal government is getting everybody to buy into this project. So we're going to see electricity gradually beginning, to circulate around to all those very critical sectors. I mean, take a look at the business confidence index that was released by World Economics. In spite of all the challenges, in spite of the infrastructure challenges that we seem to be having, business confidence is still picking up. And so now we have more electricity in the pipeline coming to us.
Yeah, we have in the pipeline. If you look at around the world, there have been concerns about this Azura-Edo IPP project. If I may tell you, Harriet, in June, I was at the Africa Energy Forum event organized by EnergyNet in Dubai. And it's all discussions when the Nigeria session, which I was privileged to moderate. Many of the questions coming through from the audience who are international investors is, when will the Nigerian government provide this risk guarantee to these creditors in the World Bank to get this project in Benin City up and running, Edo State, southwest of Nigeria, let me put it that way. Then you have those concerns about whether this risk guarantee will come. 3 years in the making. You have a few Nigerian banks involved in this particular Azura-Edo IPP project. Everybody is involved in it. You have a lot of money going on to that. $900 million is a lot of money, Harriet, if you ask me. Now, But the key thing was that the Jonathan's administration was part of this project. The investors couldn't get the sovereign guarantee or risk guarantee from the Jonathan's government until the elections came in. And that event in Dubai was asking the questions, what and how will President Buhari's administration proceed with the power sector in Nigeria? And I think this is something very good. Next month, when the Power in Africa Nigeria event takes place here in Nigeria and in Abuja, I'm sure this will be one major story that will be a good poster story for Nigeria as far as moving forward with the power sector is concerned. And now President Buhari has gotten it, has signed off for it, and now the World Bank is happy. The 20 banks involved are also happy, and this project can now get on the way, Harriet.
It also means that there's continuity in this particular project, because
Yes.
a lot of worries for investors have been there was going to be an upheaval in some of the policies that have been put forward by the past administration, and so this is continuity.
Yes, it is. Again, if you look at how these things, if we've done everything transparently, if all the transactions have been transparent, you need to move forward. The president needs to do a lot of things, and this is one clear signal about where he's going. Well, perhaps in contrast to some of the folks who think that President Buhari will dismantle everything in the shop, as it were, like a bull in a china shop, knock everything down, break them to pieces. But it looks like, yes, he's going to pick those things that are very, very good and national in nature. Imagine 450 megawatts from a single IPP in this country, Harriet. That is massive. That $100 million job, Harriet, think of the jobs that will create within the Edo Delta State, Axis, and perhaps some of us who may want to return back to.
And also, don't forget, it also gives the private sector an opportunity to buy into this very laudable project.
No, this is a private. This is all 100% private sector project, Harriet. Because it's Edo does not mean it's a government project. What the Nigerian government is doing, providing a risk guarantee to these international investors who are involved in the Azura-Edo IPP. So it's not because the federal government is involved. No, the federal government has no share, no single equity share or cash involved in this. What they are doing is providing the risk guarantee to those who are lending that, look, this is a project in our backyard, in our country, and we have confidence that this project suits the economy, and we want to encourage international investors who would want to do this. Now, every other investors have been looking at the Azura-Edo IPP, if I may tell you this. They're looking at, look, if this sovereign risk guarantee comes through for the Azura-Edo IPP, then other IPPs will feel the confidence to say, look, let's put our money on the ground. Let's do business in the power sector in Nigeria, because we're sure that if we need that piece of paper from the Nigerian government, the government at the center will provide it, and we can put our money on it. So banks locally, internationally, they're looking forward to this kind of development. And now I think the president has got another one for this Monday.
Well, thank you so much, Bolton, for your perspectives, as always. We'll take a quick break. I'll see you, of course, outside of the show. We'll talk more about this project. But we'll take another break now on the program. And when we come back, we'll turn our attention to the insurance industry. Join us again.